The Tale of Robyn and the Witch by Keene. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, in a faraway kingdom, large and grand, lived a girl named Robyn, orphaned at birth, who worked as a dressmaker to earn her worth. As she sat with her needle, threading and lacing, she longed for adventure, not to be sat wasting. Her stepmother she worked for was strict but kind. Her beliefs were set that good women stay behind. Poor Robyn knew little of the world outside. She spent her life in the shop where, like a mouse, she could hide. She knew nothing of her past but what she had in her pocket, a picture of her mother encased in a locket. Then one day, an invitation arrived, addressed to Robyn, to her stepmother's surprise. "Dear ladies of the kingdom, the prince invites you to his ball, for he is looking for a wife and would like to meet you all." "You are not worthy," the stepmother said. "Stay here and work, and I'll go instead." Alas, on the night, Robyn stayed at home, cleaning plates and pans, bored and alone. As she brushed behind a pot, a friendly tickle came out, and sure enough, an imp jumped out. Startled was Robyn, nothing normally deceived her, but she had never yet seen such a strange magic creature. The imp cackled, "Do not fret or fear, I can get you to the ball from here." Curiously did Robyn accept, but to her amazement, the imp was adept. He picked up the pot and turned it to a cart, and each flower inside became a horse to start. He picked up some fabrics from the dress shop below, and there he spun them into a dress for show. Shocked and amazed, and excited with glee, she thanked the imp profusely, and on her way went she. The carriage pulled up by the prince's palace. In the dark she stepped out, and shone like a chalice. She entered the hall, and everyone looked. The prince stood in his seat, his eyes were hooked. One woman in the hall was not so impressed. The stepmother scowled, envious of the dress. The prince came down and asked Robyn to dance, but put on the spot, she wasn't sure of her chance. Having spent her life in a dressmaker's shop, now given this chance, her life would swap. To be a princess, she just couldn't express. She only wanted to come to impress her stepmom. But the prince didn't care. He was spoiled, one could say. Scared by his advances, Robyn backed away. She made it outside, chased by soldiers in hoods. She had to keep running, into the woods. Ran did Robyn for mile after mile. She eventually stopped to rest for a while. As she stood for a moment to catch her breath, she looked out in the clearing and saw a house on the heath. A little old cottage, so tall it was, with a roof like a tower and windows with bars. Poor Robyn was tired and hungry and lost, so she knocked on the door, old and broken it was. Then with a creak and a step came a little old lady, with a pointy old nose and rags rather shady. Please help me, panted young Robyn. "I'm being chased by the prince, and forced to marry him." The old lady cackled and let the girl in. "Safety and comfort is all you'll find within." Robyn stepped in, the door slammed behind her. Then down to a cellar, she was pushed in a whir. The old lady grinned and walked over with a twitch, for the woman Robyn found was really a witch. "Stay here you shall, forever," she said. "Make potions for me until you are dead." With that the witch cackled and crept her way back. She magicked some shackles, chaining Robyn to a rack. There Robyn sat, crying in the corner, longing to escape from her world of horror. Poor Robyn could dressmake and stitch and sew, but potions she knew nothing, to mix or to brew. Though she began to work, her potions were limp, when all of a sudden, out jumped the imp. Once more he offered to help Robyn out, but this time he wanted a kiss from her mouth. Robyn refused, concerned by his offer, so the imp, in a rage, grabbed the locket of mother. Robyn fought for it back, brawling around the cellar, smashing the bottles like a drunken fella. Using her strength, she picked the imp up. She swung him around and dropped him in a tub. Not before grabbing her necklace, however, but the witch had been woken and came down to endeavour. With that, Robyn panicked, and using her potions, she dissolved the chains and poured up some distractions. She picked up an axe and smashed out the house. Across the meadow she scurried like a mouse. As she stumbled through the woods, she had a change of health. At this, she decided to stand up for herself. No longer did she want to be a mouse like that. She wanted to chase and become the cat. The witch came behind, moving swiftly on her broom. She wanted to bring Robyn some pain and doom. Robyn reached for the axe and pulled it from her pocket. When the witch stopped fast, as she noticed the locket, the witch then got down and started to cry, which made Robyn wonder as to why. For the witch had seen this object before, when she left her old life of which she had closed the door. At this the girl realised, with a shock like no other, that this witch was once dear Robyn's mother. As the witch froze, she began to transition. To Robyn's surprise, she turned back to a woman. Robyn was filled with emotions, but confused at first, so the woman began to explain her curse. When she was younger, Robyn's mother was pretty. She was also smart, and had a humour so witty. One day a girl, a hag it would seem, became jealous of her and conducted a scheme. To secure her chance with the prince she could marry, the hag left the girl with a curse she would carry. At the age of 20, when the prince would want to hitch, the hag would turn beautiful and the girl into a witch. But the plan went wrong. The hag's predictions were off, as the girl that she cursed already found love. Another man had given her a child with a name. Her 20th birthday came about, and a witch she became. In fear from the kingdom, her husband was killed. The witch ran away to stop more blood being spilled. As the cursed woman ran, she left her child in a bag, and in pity for her mistakes, a stepmother became the hag. The witch had fled, so revenge she could plot, and became so vulgar, her own child she forgot. In the witch's carnage, the prince too had been killed. For a new prince they waited, so her prophecy could be refilled. But in finding her child, the curse was removed, as she remembered her past, when an old love had been proved. Robyn was delighted, and her mother she embraced. Her escape to the forest proved not such a waste. Robyn and her mother then returned to the kingdom, to right the hag's wrong and prove Robyn was a victim. Arriving at the gates, the guards recognised them both as the runaway witch and the girl who broke the prince's oath. Returning to the great hall, the prince was surprised. He asked the girl why his love was not enough to be his prize. So Robyn outburst that she was no object. She can't be bought by a man, she could never connect. As for her mother, she explained her predicament about the curse and the hag, her outcast for being different. They told the full story, with the curse so grim, and the people who caused it, the stepmother and him. At that moment, the hag burst in, wielding a staff and ready to win. Robyn chased after the witch as she flew, up to the roof where strong winds blew. But Robyn could climb, from the woods she now knew, how to hurdle up trees, up the building she flew. Now on the roof, the witch was angry. Robyn climbed closer, but the roof was unsteady. Seeing her chance, the witch cast a bolt. Then leaping from nowhere, the imp made it halt. He had escaped from the cottage and made his way after all. He had saved Robyn and was taking the fall. The girl swung her axe, but not to cause harm. She caught the poor creature, which he grabbed with his palm. Pulling him up, her faith he had earned. But she was worried. He'd want something in return. The imp just smiled and said back to her that he learned that good deeds don't need to be earned. He had been unfair for wanting her heart. He regretted not realizing that from the start. Confused and warmed by the imp's kind gesture, the hag then realized she'd let her own hate fester. With that she came down and admitted her crimes. She apologized to the mother, hoping she would sympathize. Robyn was pleased. The hag understood love. It could not be made or forced with a shove. At that, the prince took heed from this too. He realized that love was not his to rule. The stepmother was arrested with just, and the prince went away to rethink his lust. The mother went back to live her old life. With Robyn, her daughter, she ended her strife. But Robyn, our hero, did not want to stay. She had tasted adventure and wanted her own way. Having found her mother, turned wrongs to right. She upped her belongings and adventured into the night.